When most people think of Halloween stuff, they think of something scary, like pumpkins, skulls, all that stuff over here. But I think of something much more scary, much more grotesque than any of that. CDI games. The level of horror here even starts before you even play the games. I mean, look at this. This is the power cable. It has a phone cord into it. And then the controller. The heck is this supposed to even be? It's like a remote control. Like this thing wasn't even planned to be a game system. Which, I've heard this one wasn't specifically. And there were some that were targeted more towards games. Some that were targeted more towards videos and video software. So let's see what kind of games we got for this. Alright, we're gonna see what we can try to play on this weird controller. The first thing I put in, a game called Video Speedway. Now, while this system had a lot of edutainment and random stuff on it, there was a few games that were actually games. There was some Nintendo stuff, albeit not the best Nintendo stuff, but there was a couple of Zelda games, Hotel Mario. There's a game I have called Keither. And then I got 4 more today, so we're going to look at them here. Oh, you can save a game. Wow. Let's keep it nice and simple. We're going to start with a kart race. It's because I feel like this is going to be a little slower. 4 players. Wow, this one's really, really pushing its limits here, the system. We'll be green. Especially since there's only one controller port. I forget how to do more than one controller. Let's do this. Let's see if the CDI can play a racing game. Now, I'm still using that controller from before.
Drive on the qualifying run.
Oh. Those sound effects, oh my god. Now, when looking at the graphics, yes, this is a CD-based system. However, this was still the early 90s. But graphics I can get over, but when the sound effects are awful, there is no excuse for bad sound effects on a CD-based system. Especially when you just had a voice recording. Trying my hardest not to go off into the dirt. It's a long turn here. Oh goodness. Go forward. I just want to finish the qualifying lap, and then we'll move on to the next game. Because I can't take this. Oh my god, these sound effects. Oh my god. I have to give it the benefit of the doubt, being the CDI, this is probably the most it could do. It never really was meant specifically for games. But, oh, the sound effects. I mean, I've played a racing game on the Commodore 64, so I can get over it. Weird graphics. Which, honestly, this is pretty okay for a CDI game. You know, I wouldn't expect much more. We're almost there, and we'll move on. Alright, I guess we drove into the abyss.
Drivers, start your engines.
We qualified in 9th place. No thank you, I'm done. Bye-bye. Alright, we're going on to Battleship. Capitol Disc. I wonder if that means Capitol Records. A lot of these discs say Capitol Records or Capitol Discs, making me think of Capitol Records. And they're a weird kind of CD. Oh my. I don't know how they could mess up a simple board game of Battleship. But a slideshow of battleships is the perfect way to ruin it. Alright, let's get past here. I want to play Battleship. Oh, you can play with another person. That'd be interesting. Oh, we'll just play with the computer. There's nobody here at the moment. Okay, now this is weird. We're just gonna, I guess, do basic Battleship? I really don't know the differences here. Okay. I thought this game was going to be in black and white. Oh, I can move them. Okay. Let's put... Nope. Let's put you here. It's generally not a bad layout. Let's just deploy as it is. Oh. I guess deploy means they randomize them. Well, I'm just gonna say I'm ready now. That's sure something. I mean, it's a nice effect to have little videos playing as you're playing this, but you know, if I'm gonna have to watch a video every time, I guess it's not that bad. I was expecting something really long. Of course the computer knows where I am. I'm just picking at random just so we can get an idea here. I guess you could say the plus side to this is it's playable. Surprisingly, not as great as playing a regular game of Battleship. I guess it's not much of a surprise. It's honestly is a little dull. Good thing I only paid a couple of bucks for this. But hey, anything playable on the CDI is a plus. Let's move on to the next game. I do have something really good planned for the end. Okay. Moving on to something else that I think would be at least playable. Like I said before, you really gotta take whatever you can get for the CDI because your options are limited. There was maybe 10 or 15 games, a bunch of interactive stories, something about plumbers and ties. But I mean, when you get something like Pinball, or Racing, or the next game, you'd think at least something decent can come out of the system. So let's see how Pinball goes. So far it's weird. Oh, I hope I know how to use the paddles. Ah, okay. It's both just the buttons. It's got some strange physics going on because of the angle. It's really... Like, a pinball is never vertical like this, even if you're standing above it. I don't know if I'm just bad at it or if it's the angle that's throwing me off. Come on. That one wasn't very good. Oh yeah, dogfight, spring race. Let's do spring break. That one seems kind of interesting. This system definitely Yeah, is an interesting thing in itself. Oh. Well then. I guess this is a dirty disc. We're gonna move on to something good. Alright, last but most certainly not least, especially on this system. Yep. It has Tetris. And I know they can't mess this one up. So let's see how some CDI Tetris is and see if it's gonna save this thing. Let's just go right into it. Alright, how do we... Okay. It's a peaceful Tetris. I don't know if they didn't want to even try to copy the music from the other versions, or if there was some legal reasons for it. But this is like this serene Tetris on a calm river. Or maybe it was an excuse so they could use this, oops, push the wrong button. So they could use some cheap elevator music they found from the early 90s. I keep pushing the wrong one. It's probably because I'm trying to play this one-handed. And I'm holding this thing like a remote control. Because the down arrow doesn't make you go down, and you know, you kind of like, you're pushing at it, and you go to try to use one of the other buttons, and they're so close together on this weird controller. Either that or I'm just really bad at it. There's a good chance that that's just the answer. Oh, I almost did it again. So yeah, this is just really just Tetris. But with the strangest music that you will ever play Tetris to. But you can at least say there is a good game on the CDI. Now, while it's also on everything else that has ever existed, and there's plenty of other versions that you could play over this one, and you probably should, to be honest, you can at least say it has one redeeming quality about the system. Did I buy the system just merely for Tetris? Partly. That and probably the Nintendo titles. Oops, that was by accident. Which run for, you know, hundreds of dollars, so I just make copies of. And probably should just make copies of the rest of the games on the system. But it's more of a collector's thing, I guess you can say. Because while a die-hard gamer may not want to play this kind of stuff, it's something that happened, something that can't be looked over. And I don't know if it's the music, but it kind of makes you feel bad for the system. It's probably just the music. And I did that wrong again. But hey, the music makes it so everything's better. Oh, moving on to another level, level 1. Alright. Ooh, a new song, a new scenery. Nowhere to put this because I wasn't paying attention to what was happening. So only the left and right really works, and it really throws you off. And you're trying to push down and haven't realized that it doesn't work that way. And this is also like you're already 4 minutes into this and still haven't figured that out. I could play this just for the music. I heard if you pop this in, well, if you put this in a regular CD player, it just plays music. The not having the down button really gets you. Because I mean, it's here on the controller, but it doesn't do anything. It just makes you go left and right more because this weird controller. So if you're ever thinking about getting a CDI for whatever reason that may be, try to get the one with the regular game controller. Because I can tell you, The worst part about this experience right now is the controller. So otherwise, this is a very nice game of Tetris, a very relaxing game of Tetris. And even with the weird screen flashes, I could see myself coming back, you know, a couple times, here and there. Want to play a game of Tetris, but I want it to be a little different than normal. This might be where I go. For whatever reason. I don't think Libius is the thing we needed to worry about mind control. It's CDI Tetris. Okay, I'll fade you guys out. Have a good one, and thank you for watching.